we're with Lord of the Lost here at Bloodstock Festival. Now, I saw you guys 2 years ago at Download when you opened to a stage in front of 12 people.
Wasn't it last year?
Was it last year?
I think it was last year.
It was last year, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you opened a stage of 12 people, and by the end of it there was thousands running in. And here you are, Bloodstock today, different crowd, different sort of set. How was it for you guys?
Oh, it was actually so good to actually start a set in front of many people, because with Download was nobody's fault. It was just the weather gods, and actually being here in the sun, it was hot and sweaty. We have a new album out since last Friday, like 2 days, playing so many new songs, seeing the reaction of the people was amazing. We loved it, really.
Vendors of secrets and sellers of sin, veils out of truth on the faces within, cages of nightmares and dreams on display, each with a price that the soul must repay.
I know that you, over time, are quite an eclectic band. You've changed your style, changed what you do, and was it more of a tailored set for Bloodstock because it was a heavier festival than, for example, Download, or did that just reflect where you are now with the new album and the new music?
No, actually the thing is, our set at Download was like shortened because I think we played like 15 minutes or 20, so we couldn't actually play all that we wanted to play. But it's not like that we're actually really choosing like to be heavier for the one festival or less heavy for the other. Sometimes, of course, when we're playing just a pure goth festival, maybe like one or two songs, we know these have to be in there. But it's just like, it's just like a thing. We evolve from time to time. We will sound different in 2 years. We sounded different 2 years ago. That's our thing. So we always going to do that. Some people, it's very funny. Some people think we do that because we're searching for a way for success. Just recently, someone came to me and said, like, hey, why does your new album sound so different? Why didn't you keep with the Blood and Glitter style? Because finally you were successful. I was like, all right, you think we changed all the time because we were looking for a way to be successful? Do you think David Bowie changed all the time because he was looking for a way to be successful? Or he was an artist who just followed the vision and his heart and was like, oh yeah, fair point. So we will always change. That's our thing. We love that.
Wasn't the world serpents and silk, traders of time for a taste of spoiled milk, clockwork illusions ticked up through the night, whispers of wonder and shadows in flight, puppeteer strings they twist and they wind when the sane lose their mind. Children of the night, in turmoil we unite, the wonders of our world to
So the album is out now, came out last week.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the album?
Yeah, we actually wanted to do just a very, very normal album. We just said, let's do a normal album, but we ended up doing a trilogy. So part 1 is just out, part 2 is coming around Christmas, part 3 early next year, because we were writing so many songs. We had 1 year of songwriting, we ended up with more than 30 songs, so we have like 3 times 11 songs. It's called Opvs Noir. Noir is a French word for black. It's just such a beautiful word. And it's a little like, the basement of our soul, heart, mind, trying to kind of deep dive to this world down there, because we realized it's very easy to make 33 songs about all the dark sides of us. I think I couldn't do 33 songs about being happy, because being happy is a very easy thing to understand, but all these dark sides in us, they're so versatile, and it was very inspiring to make this voyage in the inside of the human soul, and this is what Opvs Noir is about.
In my own darkness I find solace and despair, the shadows creeping, good company in empty air. I dance with demons, my heart heavy and bare, a melancholic rhythm, and no one else is there.
So how then did you choose which 11 songs go on this album, which 11 songs go on the next?
Really just by feeling. I had like these iTunes playlists and playing around with them. Some things were like based on the guests that we have, because you don't want one album with guests and one without and whatever, or one with just female guests. And we have so many great artists on through all kind of styles. We have Within Temptation, we have Kärja, that guy from Eurovision, the Finnish guy, this Finnish rapper. We have IMX, which is such an amazing artist. We have Lena Scissorhands from Infected Rain. So there's like so many people, Death Stars. So we try to keep it colorful somehow. So, but it wasn't easy. It took me a couple of weeks to rearrange the 3 parts so that all are interesting, because we didn't want to be ABC songs like The Best Hour on Volume 1 and then you go like, it doesn't matter. We want 3 strong independent albums.
In my own darkness, I see a flicker of light, but the whispers of demons keep me bound to the night. And let it devour me, these thoughts I cannot fight, in this twisted symphony that I call life. In my own darkness, I create my melody, lost in the heaviness, the sweetest minor key. Every note, every chord echoes my plea. In the somber anthem, I find my sanctuary.
And you say there are 33 tracks to make up these 3 albums. Does that mean there were 90 tracks sitting on the cutting room floor, or did you just write the 33 and they're the ones on there?
Usually it is like that we write more and more, we throw more away, like on the way. Before recording, you realize with the demo, oh no, it doesn't feel right, or maybe it feels more right for another artist, because we also write lots for other bands and solo artists. But this time we wrote 34 songs and 33 made it. Just the one didn't really feel right. We didn't want to let go of them. They all just felt right. Maybe it's only us thinking that. That's fine. Because, I mean, we are the ones that should be our biggest fans. That's the most important, so you be authentic. But yeah, we really thought like, no, we're gonna keep them all, except for this one.
Without you, I'll be heartless. Oh, but I can only shine in the darkness, in the darkness.
I think the current single, or one of the singles that came out, was Within Temptation, one which you played live tonight.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about how that collaboration came about?
This is the story. It sounds like a great marketing story, but it's true. It was the last show of our 2022 tour with Iron Maiden. It happened in Warsaw, in Poland. And on that night, it was on the bill. It was us, of course, and Iron Maiden, of course. But in between, the sandwich was Within Temptation. They had this one-off Iron Maiden support show. And after the Lord of Lost show, I went to have a shower, and then I went to see Within Temptation, a band that I like for many years, but never had the chance to see live. And I saw Sharon live, and I was so astounded and amazed and moved by her voice, because she's so powerful and yet so angelic and soft and fragile. I love that. So one day later, I started writing that song, trying to create a hybrid between both bands, because I wanted the whole song to sound like Within Temptation and Lord of Lust. And I showed it to her, because we had our dressing rooms side by side, so we switched contacts the day before. So a little later I showed it to her, and she loved it. So this ended up being a collab song between both bands, actually. It sounds too good to be true, but it's true.
In the dawn of dusk, found what I'd lost in the shadows. Ooh, from night to day, your absence of light will keep me safe. Airlighting high and low, airlighting love and woe.
You were saying about you were really pleased with the welcome you got from the English crowd, and it's good to be back here, but you're back here touring in November, aren't you?
Yes, we are. It's actually amazing, because most European bands, like especially German bands, it's not easy for them to make it somehow in the UK. Usually it's the other way around. And I mean, you guys, you invented big parts of rock and metal. You don't need, so usually it's the other way around. So it's for many of us, it's hard to go here, but somehow it worked out. Of course, also thanks to Eurovision, thanks to the second tour with Maiden, which was mainly in UK and Ireland. So yeah, we're coming back this fall for the UK and Ireland. The pre-sales are going great. It's big venues, and we feel home here meanwhile.
Without you, I'll be heartless. Oh, I can only shine in the darkness. Without you, I'll be heartless. Oh, I can only shine in the darkness.
It was a bit of a German takeover this afternoon with Fireshots were on before you.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time they've been over here. Now, a lot of their songs are predominantly in German. Now, that didn't seem to stop them going down really well. Is that something that you obviously sing a lot in English? Do you sing in German?
Yeah.
It doesn't make it difficult if you're singing in German to get across over here.
I think it depends on the people. I think in some way it's more difficult to make it when you sing in German. But on the other hand, some people like this, let's call it exotic bonus. You know, some people like the thing. That's a language they don't really understand. So sometimes it works that German artists from pop, rock and metal make it in the US or in the UK. Maybe just because it's German and it's a little weird. And I mean, look at Feuerschwanz, dressed as knights and Vikings, whatever. And then they sing in this language that most English people don't understand. Maybe it's that certain vibe to it which makes it more interesting. Maybe this is their selling point.
From raging seas to the land, only the brave understand that on this treacherous quest we make a fate manifest. Blood and bride and the cosmic pyre, from the ashes we rise. We're the lords of fire. We're the lords of fire.
When you're playing in Germany, are you still singing in English? Or are they,
yeah.
So there aren't German versions of the songs?
We have like, I don't know, 2-3 German songs over time because it just felt right, or sometimes we work together with some other German bands, made a feature. But it's something I really didn't think about. I started writing songs in English when I was 14 years old and my English was like very, very, very bad, just because the music I was listening to was in English. I listened to bands like Roxette and Michael Jackson and they were singing in English, so when I started to write songs I thought like, this is how it's gonna be. So I did the same. It was very bad, but it is the same. And meanwhile, I have this great friend here in the UK called Anthony J. Brown. He's a stand-up comedian and an author, and he's this wordsmith. He knows all those beautiful words, so I can write my lyrics and he goes over them and he comes up with some of these lines or rhymes where me, as a kid that just had English in school, I cannot know. So this really helps to kind of improve the English a bit, and I'm not ashamed of doing that. There's no ego. I think like, hey, if you have someone who is so good at this language, why not collab, why not use that? And he's such a great guy.
Nice to see you playing a longer set on stage there, but it is a festival set, so presumably it'll be nice to see you come back in November and do a headlining slot. And what can we expect that's going to be different from the band on your own tour?
When we're playing a festival set, it's just like power, power, power. You know, you just try to give all the powerful songs, especially when you play at daytime and you don't really have a light show, so you always compete against the sun. But when we do a headline show where we play like 100, 110, 120 minutes, so that's also going to be, there's room for more versatile feelings, some ballads and stuff. We have great bands with us. We have Scarlet Riot, which are coming from the UK, doing some female-fronted modern metal, and we also have Julian K, which are actually, this is Ryan Chuck and Ahmed Iraq from the US. They founded Orgy back then in the late 90s, one of my most favorite bands from back then. Now they have Julian K, and we toured with them in the US, and now we're bringing them to the UK, and I'm actually touring with my childhood heroes, so that's amazing.
Thank you ever so much for chatting us today. I love the set out there today, and I look forward to the album and seeing you back in November. Thank you very much.
Without you.